All right. Hi, I'm Kiederen, and welcome back to part 5 of Void's Blitzarre Adventure. Today we'll be tackling chapter 11 and possibly 12. It depends on how long this one takes. I looked over. Sorry. I looked over the map briefly last time, but I'm gonna take another look again since I didn't really do any preparations other than looking. I do remember that I need a thief this time around, so I do have to make sure I field Bob. I'm gonna want this master seal. Goddess icon's pretty nice too, though I don't need to steal it. However, if I do want the elixir, I'm gonna have to steal that. Either way, I'm going to have to put up with this eclipse for a while. I think, yeah, this guy drops a longbow, so I could use it from here or here. Probably here since it drops on this side to snipe him out. I'd probably take one or two hits from the eclipse. So not. Then again, I mean, eclipse is kind of innocuous as it is. The unfortunately low, or fortunately for me in this case, low hit rates, and its inability to kill kind of makes it the weakest of the siege tomes. In this case, if this hack was made with a unified team, all doing the map planning all together, which it might have been. I don't know enough about the development. I kind of assumed that because it was all done in a week that they split up the individual chapters, because each individual chapter is accredited to one of the people on the team. It was a small team, so everyone did a bunch of maps, but anyway, in terms of a game design thing, if this was a part of a overall plan that they had before making things, this would be a good game design element. Introducing siege tomes. We did run into ballista earlier. Chapter 9, I believe, had the ballista boat even. But I think this is the first time a siege tome actually appears, and having it be Eclipse is good for new players. Not that I think new players are really the target audience for this, but if it were designed as a core game for a potentially new player, Eclipse is a good siege tome to introduce them to the idea that siege tomes exists and how to deal with them without being legitimately dangerous, like the bolting spell primarily, and to a much lesser extent the purge spell. That's anima and light magic siege tomes respectively. But anyway, overall I remember this map not being terribly complex. It's got some interesting enemy diversity up here. Some interesting item drops. I don't remember these from last time, but looks like it's restocking for me, I guess. There's a lot of drops. Wow, I get all of these. Everything in this room? Almost. A restore staff is nice. I don't think I have that yet. Even the boss drops a spare blitz lance for Void. Not that I was running out. Actually, I was pretty low. 13. So yeah, that's pretty timely. What was I doing with the hero crest on this side? Actually, I probably didn't mess around with any of the items yet. Otherwise, I see mostly steel and iron, a javelin. Otherwise, no one really has any particularly threatening or unique weaponry aside from this bunch that all drops most of what they have. Steel, Elfire, Luna, Sacred Stones Luna, not Blazing Sword Luna. So for anyone who hasn't played either one or both of those, this is the Sacred Stones version of this tome. In Blazing Sword, it had, I think, 90 hits instead of 50. And I want to say it had higher critical as well. But always had 0 might because it ignores resistance. And they really neutered it in Sacred Stones. It's that hit rate kind of makes it not very threatening. We'll see if maybe later chapters of this hack can actually put the stats on enemy shamans or druids to actually make it a threat. So it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't put it past them. Anyway, these guys are actually a little threatening because they've got pretty good weapons. Nosferatu gives this shaman 22 attack. Alright, so the other major thing is that I'm split up from the start. So I've got 2 parties on either side that can't cross over until we get about halfway through this map. So I need to make sure that both sides are largely self-sufficient. The right side is gonna have to deal a little bit more with magic. Left side is just this shaman until he reaches the siege tome. This is actually just a random journeyman enemy with a stealable dragon shields. He's surprisingly buff for the journeyman class, but yeah. The poison axe is a pretty lousy weapon. It's mostly there to kind of harass rather than be generally threatening. I can probably put my thief on this pillar right here. He'll run into me. Since he's pretty sturdy, he won't die. I can steal the dragon shield on the next turn and then finish him off with magic user or someone else. This is actually like the intermediary journeyman class. So when Sacred Stones, after your first playthrough, on subsequent runs, you have the option of promoting your trainee characters, the journeyman, the recruit, and the pupil. Instead of their regular class options, you could actually promote them back to the same class. So Journeyman Ross could turn into Journeyman Ross. And then they have the option from there to promote to one of the second tier classes or back to Journeyman again, to retain that class for all 3 tiers. And then the third version of that class was considered a super trainee, which had its own unique stat caps. Journeyman and Recruit super versions both had a 15% boost to critical, just like a Sword Master. And the Super Pupil didn't get that critical boost, but he did have access to all 3 types of offensive magic. So this is probably the middle stage instead of the super trainee, because the stat caps look like they're all 20 for everything except for luck. And the level is 18 because the original trainees at the base level capped out at 10. But either way, he's still kind of a weird enemy to be facing here, especially without a portrait having it not suggesting that he doesn't have any indication. It's an echo, huh? I am not sure what's causing an echo. Do you have an echo from the game or from my voice? It might just be picking up the game. Because I do have my game audio. Should probably switch that over to my play through my headset instead of through my speakers, but for next time. Oh, okay. Anyway, I do need Bob. Kristen doesn't seem like she'll be super useful on this map because it's an indoor map. She won't be able to fly over the walls. And there were a bunch of archers, so I'm gonna leave Kirsten behind this chapter. I am tempted to bring both Betty and Prin because my party is split, but I do only have 3 slots on the left side, so I have a feeling I'm probably gonna want to just rely on Void's Bond's skill for passive healing on that side, and then stick with Prin. So that gives me 1 other deployment slot. Let's see. I might actually run with Samson, just for his extra oomph, his power if I need it. Edge is kind of interesting. I like the mercenary class. I really like heroes as a class as well. I'm not sure I have the deployment space to run 3 sword users, not counting my thief, given the trend of deployment slots so far, and with Tim doing double service with the swords and axes now that he's a hero, and I kind of want to stick with Anna because has been my best boss killer, and I greatly appreciate that she actually has a luck growth, unlike Edge. Maybe on a different playthrough. His defense does look pretty nice, though his resistance does not. So I think, as I said, I'm going to stick with Samson. Just because the archer gives me a little more diversity, and Samson has a little more immediate power. He has 11 cons, so he actually doesn't get slowed down by the steel bow at all, so that's a good choice to leave him with. Jay's using the silver bow now that he's a B rank. Excuse me. Don't need this holy hero crest. I do kind of want to give her back, yeah, the short spear. Actually, now that I have a javelin, I'm going to use that instead. It's slightly safer. 11 weight. Well, let's see, 11 weight over 12 weight. I think I will actually roll with the short spear. I don't really use it too often. The short spear the short spear doesn't have any uses on it. 18 is weird, but that's max uses. Let's see, I need to give you another vulnerary. Yeah, we were at a shop and I kind of wish I had stocked up on some extra instead of just getting 1 replacement. I did take a quick look at Prin's promotion options using that Master Seal. I was curious before because she starts with a steel sword and has, when you first recruit her, she has a steel sword and like a hero's crest in her inventory, and she's trying to use it. So I thought at the time it might be neat if she got like a unique Valkyrie promotion where It was like a Tellius era Valkyrie. Then she used staves and swords. Especially would have been kind of neat because she's got pretty good strength base. But it turns out that she does have regular Sacred Stones promotion paths. She'll go to a Valkyrie with light magic and staves, or for a Mage Knight that has anima and staves. And I feel like I mentioned it last time, but it's a kind of an interesting choice what that goes, or that will be kind of an interesting choice because in the original Sacred Stones, Valkyrie, depending on what your strategy was, like the speedrunners really, I think, still liked Mage Knight for its efficiency because they didn't really dabble with monsters too much. But for more casual players or people kind of looking for more completionism, Valkyrie was generally the better choice because all monster enemies in the game used dark magic, so that gave you a weapon triangle advantage. Instead of being constantly at a weapon triangle disadvantage. So I unfortunately used up, I think I broke my hatchet and my hand axe a chapter or two ago, so I don't have either of them. I can give you another iron axe. Did I get any more? I do have a physique. That'll be nice, and she'll be able to do some work across that barrier at the start in case I need some emergency healing on Void's side. Got a menagerie of swords, which is good. Okay. So just pick who I want where, and then we should be good to go. Since I need a little more commando power, I'm going to bring Tim over to the left side. I have a feeling Samson's probably going to be able to one-shot some of these guys, some of these archers. So 24, 21. I think I will bring my two pre-promotes over here to hang with Void. Tim's going to be doing majority of the work. But then the rest on this side should be good. Between Anna and Not Arch, they should be able to take out the journeyman. And I mean, Jay and Tam can certainly help as well. Alright. Let's go. Be curious why this chapter is titled Factory Gold. That seems relevant, but let's see. Hello. This is Shaman Syrian with hood. And color changes, of course, too. Travel system will pull any enemies from the throne room's gold tiles to the main battleground, so make sure to check out threats that are up there too. Okay, so I did postulate last time that these gold tiles would be relevant for something, but until just now, it was unclear what they actually did. Arv. Light and dark magic and a shaman. That's kind of neat, and I kind of feel like that might be a throwback to 4. Though the classes in 4 had some weird weapon distinctions or weapon levels on classes and so on. Master Knight being able to wield basically everything. But anyway, she actually looks pretty good. I love 70% growth and luck, because no one on my team except Anna has much luck. 45 speed's actually not half bad. It's not speedy, but it's not being left in the dust either. 40 skill is pretty respectable too. Same general thing. 55 magic is good. Uh, it's above average for a magic user, but probably about par for a shaman, which tends to be a class that specializes in hitting hard. 20 defense is expected. 6 base is pretty good. 35% res growth is on the lower side for a magic user from the GBA era, but she's got a decent base at 10, so that should still be fairly serviceable. Low base speed, but again, expected for a shaman, and it should grow decently. 10 skills, good. 9 magics, okay. Oh, I just noticed that she is level 10 already, so some of those values are a little low, but unlike in Sacred Stones, I'm not really expecting to hit caps, so she could still be very serviceable. 28 HP is pretty nice as well. Let me see here. It looks like a Lance Breaker skill, which is super random, but I'll take it. Malefic Aura and Spur Defense. Spur Defense is going to be really nice. That makes her an actual buffer. And especially since as a mage, she can attack from range and have a melee unit follow up on her attack if she fails to kill, and the melee attacker will gain the benefit of that spur defense. Or if I use not arch, then they'll get the Malefic Aura effect in addition to the spur defense, so that'll be good. I've got Flux and Luna and Lightning myself. Curious to see where we go with this Lightning, because that's new. For shamans, at least. Elder. It's Elder, not Dark. Elder. I think partially a reference to like Canas from Blazing Sword as well, possibly as well to Noel. I don't remember his dialogue quite as much. But Blazing Sword in general, dark magic, they kind of try to go out of their way to make the distinction between dark magic and elder magic. The game kind of calls it all dark magic for distinction or for weapon distinction case, but dark magic kind of has the stigma that it's evil, whereas elder magic is kind of has a different atmosphere or it has a different kind of connotation to it, and both of the dark mages of Sacred Stones and Blazing Sword kind of tried to make that distinction a little more clear. So warping teleport reinforcements. That we'll see. Hopefully that's not ambush, because that would be awful. But we'll find out. This seems like a pretty natural choice. Can I follow up? Yeah. I don't think I can reach this longbowman on the first turn, no matter what I use here. You've got shove, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, and being a shaman in the Sacred Stones based game, she'll be able to promote to either a druid or a summoner. And that's also the fact that she has light magic is also kind of interesting, because if she keeps that, then... Oh, I need to turn on her animations. We did have a female enemy shaman in a previous chapter, so she should have the shaman sprite. We'll see it next turn, maybe. Right. Nosferatu. We want to kill you fast. Ow. Good. If I hadn't critted there, I actually would have survived that round, which I guess just means I would have had to feed the kill to Samson. I don't really need to be quite as stingy with the Blitz Lance anymore. Is there anything up? Okay, it's just the Cavalier, and he looks pretty far off, so yeah, just the longbow. But druids and sacred stones could use anima magic and dark magic. So if she keeps light magic when she promotes to druid, she will have all 4 magic types: light, dark, anima, and staves. So this was the plan I was talking about before. Physique can't quite reach this turn if I'm trying to bait the journeyman, but certainly next turn. Ross looks kind of sharp in red. Alright, so they didn't do any teleporting this turn. We did have reinforcements. I thought reinforcements showed up last turn as well, but maybe not. So since these guys spawned on warp tiles, I'm expecting them to be the ones that will come at me next turn, maybe. But anyway, this is mine now. Come on, anti-arch, can't be missing those. Mine, yeah. You're level 11, so I actually kind of want to give you the kill here if I can. No. Don't think that's happening. You really slow? Oh, right. Gotta remember that my anti-arch has seal speed, so it makes everyone fast. Do I really want to use... I'm not sure I really want to use the silver bow here just to feed him some experience. You can still get some experience for hitting. The other question is, do I want to continue feeding experience to Tam? He's kind of a filler unit at the moment. I think not. He'll be there if I need him, but he'll be one of the first ones replaced if I get more interesting units. Alright, so I do want to run Physique over to Tim. And I'll give Bryn a level up too. Okay, her fantastic base strength since it's fantastic, I don't mind her not getting that every level up. I mean, she'll probably cap it anyway. So skill and speed are pretty welcome. Let's see. So what do you look like? Since I'm not gonna double with any of them. Yeah, I like that color palette. And I like the female shaman sprite as well. It's interesting that they imported the female shaman sprite from FE6, but they did not get a female hero sprite for the boss a few chapters back. Seems a little unfortunate. Especially since I liked the female hero sprite. We got a fighter and a soldier next turn. Wonder if the fighter's gonna flank me down here. Just one isn't gonna be too big of a deal though. What do you have? You have a sword. Now that I'm rolling with pre-promote action here, I've got some weapon triangle control. Alright, do your worst. Okay. That was almost comedic, but I was just expecting like a cut and paste kind of deal. They just disappear from the one tiles and appear in the other ones. Alright, so fighter went there, soldier went here. And since those reappeared again, I'm kind of expecting a repeat then. Interestingly, this Cavalier didn't move. As far as was explained, the gold tiles are basically like, effectively like warp tiles. So anyone in the throne room here on a gold tile is supposed to appear out on the battlefield on one of the other gold tiles, though there's no clear indication which one corresponds to what. So far, the soldier that was here last turn is now down here, and the fighter that was over here last turn is now up here. And I don't have enough data yet to say whether that's consistent or they just change arbitrarily. As long as it didn't seem like it happened on their turn though, so it's not an ambush reinforcement, which is good. It means I can deal with it. Or is it? No, I think this is the first turn's gold tile characters, so there was a fighter on the first turn, he teleported out to this one, and then moved here on the second turn, or subsequent turn, I should say. I don't think it was on turn 1. But anyway, I can take out this guy for free. Actually, I can't do enough damage. That's okay, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It means I can feed this kill to someone else, possibly. And by that I mostly mean Void. Maybe. 6 speed, 8 speed. Though Arv has 7 constitution. So okay, she doesn't get slowed down much, if at all. Lightning doesn't slow her down, but Flux only slows her down by 1. So 5 and 8 speed, not enough to double. So that's reasonably safe. Well, she's got good luck. Don't have to worry about stray crits. Let's actually go with lightning. Gasp, a reason to actually use light magic, momentarily at least. Can bait that soldier with void. She's getting extra void from somewhere, maybe? Oh, wait, no. She's losing a little. Alright. So the avoid formula is twice your attack speed, plus your luck. So she's actually being slowed down slightly because of this Iron Lance. 8 weight to 7 constitution. That's a -1, giving her 13 speed. So 13 attack speed is 26. Plus 20 for the pillar, 46. Which 46 is still pretty good. That'll cut you down to 29. Anti-arch is my tank on this side. Weirdly, it's still kind of weird to me, but I'll run with it. And that is just in range of the mercenary. Alright, Bob has swap. There wasn't anything else I wanted to steal immediately, right? Antitoxin isn't too big of a deal. Vulnerary is not really worth going out of my way for. Secret book I want. Gotta remember to... I'm gonna have to blitz up the side here in order to get Bob in... excuse me. Losing my voice already. Get Bob over to steal that secret book. I may only do this chapter tonight because I'm not sure my voice will hold out. Easy kill. There they go. Alright, so where they ended up. So I did get flanked. I cannot stop... Well, actually, maybe I could. This was the soldier that... or the mercenary that attacked me last time. Okay. I'm not sure I actually feel I need to go after this guy. I can kind of deal with them as they come at me. Just as long as I don't lure you too early. This Cavalier is like, I think they forgot the AI on it. It's just not, he's actually not doing anything. He didn't even attack back last turn. Alright. I just got finished saying that Luna was not very threatening, but if I do give it weapon triangle advantage, it does kind of become a little more worrisome. Where is that 10 attack coming from? It's not a rally. That would show up as a plus bonus. Alright, I can't inspect weapon levels right now. I wonder if they're using like a... Oh, no. So, in the... starting with, I believe, the DS games, Shadow Dragon and onward, weapon levels did a little more than just dictate what weapons you could equip. Higher weapon levels actually added bonuses, such as hit rates, attack bonuses, and they generally depended on the weapon type itself. GBA era games had an S level weapon bonus, where you got 5 crits and I don't remember if it was 5 crit 5 hits or 5 crit 10 hits bonus for using a weapon that you had an S level rank in. But other than that, they didn't really have any additional perk to having an S rank other than being able to use all the weapons in the game, which was still a reasonably big deal. But after that, in the DS, 3DS era games, they started having more pronounced bonuses, and one of the ways they buffed the weapon triangles by having weapon triangle disadvantage take away bonuses that you had from your weapon rank. Let's see, this is... I'm gonna put arch, an anti-arch out here. So I thought at first that the 10... Oh, actually, you're back down to 8. That was weird. So what I was originally thinking was maybe a weapon rank of C gave a 2 boost to attack for Dark Tomes, which it's hard to put anything past this hack, but that doesn't seem like it should be. It doesn't sound quite right to me, in part because Dark Tomes were the axe equivalent of the magic triangle, and axes in those DS 3DS games, their bonuses at higher weapon levels were usually relegated to just hit rate. So their hit rate improved sometimes significantly, but they didn't gain any power. So it didn't seem quite right that a Dark Tome would gain power at a weapon level, but as a weapon level bonus. Okay, I'm gonna end up luring with a void over here anyway. But bonus disappeared, so I'm not sure what caused it. I moved a few of my units and suddenly it went away. Alright, we're otherwise just gonna sit tight. Lucky 7s here go and screw the weapon triangle for the first 7 turns. It does basically cancel it out. So yeah, that weapon triangle advantage gives it a decent, a non-zero hit, but it's low base accuracy plus anti-arch being on a pillar kind of negates all that, and it becomes unthreatening again. It did go up to 11 attack there, though, which is kind of interesting. It looked like it might have gotten that 10 might back up to 10 bonus or +2 bonus that I was seeing randomly before, and then saw it disappear. Oh, I got a skill proc and I wasn't paying attention. Add up's always nice. This hurts, except it didn't hit, so it doesn't hurt. I'm okay with that. But the shaman had 11 attack instead of just 9. That's still kind of jarring, seeing oh boy, seeing a soldier rush past me. Welp. This was not unexpected. It's actually kind of not unprecedented. I actually ran into a similar glitch back in vanilla copy of Blazing Sword, where a enemy that was injured retreated to a fort in Fog of War. It was the chapter you rescue Merlinus, and the very next turn, an enemy spawned from the same fort, and the two were superimposed on top of each other. Very similar to this, but this is the first time I've seen it where it's an ally and an enemy on the same space. I suspected in the previous example that Fog of War was kind of partially, at least more than partially, responsible for that mix-up, but so I just have to kill the soldier, since the soldier seems to be on top, and then I might be able to. So L button, yeah, rotates through your active units, so that I can't even use L button to move Anna. Okay. This is another cavalier that randomly is not moving, so I will advance on you. First, making sure that I don't run into the cavalier with the secret book that I still want to steal. But I can answer you over here and give you have, yeah, one ranged weapon, so I can safely tuck Arv behind Tim here, so he gets her spur def defensive boost. Kind of want to feed some experience to Bob here, because I don't want him to get totally left behind. If he gets too far behind, he won't be able to steal from the enemies I need him to steal from anymore. One, two, three, four, five. Actually, if Tam here barely makes it to that monk, then I'm not sure Anna will be able to if she has to pass through that pillar. But I can't check until I kill this soldier anyway, so that is kind of a unique or interesting strategic situation. Maybe she will. Oh, she can. Okay. Good. Oh, okay, that's good. I was like, I can't kill you? I can kill you. I'm actually getting focus benefit as well this time. That 11 crit, thanks to not having any allies within 3 spaces. So free to advance here. Just a priest. Alright, I can't kill you. I'm not sure entirely what to do about you. I suppose if I can move you out of range, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's his range. So this is safe. At least those fighters are attacking like as they should be. Well, I'm just glad I got the 3% crit instead of the enemy getting it. I'm a little surprised my massive 3 luck is negating the crit on those fighters. Here we are, here's that eclipse. Alright, so back down here. Can I do enough, but I don't like toying with that crit rate. And that's just focus. Focus and he drops another fire. Does every single one of these drop fire? I was just complaining about not having enough tomes on anti-arch, so I guess I guess I'll take it. Can't be real unhappy about that. Let's see. So it looks like the teleport squares, the gold tiles, do consistently go to the same place, having this mage show up same place twice from that tile. So since there's no soldier here, I won't be blocked on this tile next turn. So I feel I can put Bob here. And do I want to use? So Anti-Arch is the better tank between him and Void. I'm gonna want to kill this Cavalier here. Whoever does that is going to have to take the attacks from you and you. But I don't want to kill this Cavalier. So 11 weight, 9 constitution. That's 2 difference subtracted from the speed, so he's got 4 attack speed. So I'm pretty sure I can double that. Let's see, 10, 7, 3, 8 attack speed. 8 to 4, yeah, that's a 4 difference. This is not heroes, so you only need 4. Does it do enough damage? Maybe not. Yeah, it probably does. 1. You've got 3 resistance. You're 1, right? So you'll do 2 less damage than these. 15, 13. So he could survive that, but if I proc a skill, then it's dead and it's lost. So, I've got to heal Void next turn. What I could do here, I could actually unequip. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to unequip Anti-Archer's weapons this turn using Void. Just going to trade away his 2 tomes. This way he won't counterattack against the Javelin user. And Void has to deal with just the Javelin user. So he might attack her. "17, 4 is 13, which, yeah, that'll kill if it crits, but you have lower weight. I can maximize my Void a little bit there. Not sure why I bothered. She survives if he doesn't crit. If he does crit, she's dead, no matter how much health she has. Looks like Tam is on mage killing duties some more. Given how threatening. Ah, gross. This, yeah. Man. I survived that on pure bulk alone. And 6 resistance. I'll probably promote her next level. It's not minus. Oh, that was from attacking the minus res for res for attacking the monk earlier turn. But mostly because 13 attacks pretty good already. And given her defense and res stats, she's probably not going to grow substantially in either of those in the next few levels. And though she might get some good HP, a promotion will definitely give her more HP. And her skill and speed are already both capped. And getting Swordmaster bonus crit will just make boss killing even easier, even a little more safer, a little more safe. I can talk. Better yet, can I take out this mercenary before he has to harass anyone without drawing you? Because Arv can kind of swing in down here. Lightning has a good hit. Yep, magic. She's got good magic growth. A little surprised she didn't get luck at 70% growth, but I also have to remind myself that this is Awakening Fates type breaker skills and not not heroes style breaker skills. So this, especially at the current level range, this skill basically makes her immune to lances. 50 is a huge margin to increase or decrease by. I mean, it's big late game too, but it's at least surmountable late game. These Cavaliers might actually not move, considering I just realized that this Cavalier was in range of Tim last turn and didn't do anything. So let's actually take up residence here and see if getting a little bit closer may entice them to move more. Yep. Keep throwing that Eclipse. Maybe you'll hit someone someday. Probably not. Oh, and the ballista. Here come the ballista. Should I try to wait them out? I could just kind of slap Anna on that pillar tile there, and she can probably waste all of those ballista shots. Okay, so they are moving, and that is a female Cavalier sprite, interestingly. I kind of like the, if arbitrary, use of the female battle sprites. It just kind of gives a little more diversity to the enemy types. But all according to plan. You can have these back. I'm gonna throw one myself. I didn't think about it until just now, but yeah, how does that, curious how they handle that throwing animation with a sword user, but I guess that's about the closest they can do. They did do something, because that sort of thing, you could mess with some of the animations in the original Sacred Stones, because there was a glitch, enemy control glitch, where you could obtain the stone spell from Gorgons that if was usable by anyone, and it gave dark weapon experience. So you could actually teach dark magic to any character in the game, regardless of class. Right, I need to heal you. So for magic users, it's not really much of a problem. The magic casting animation is universal for all magic spells. For any given class. Can I one-shot? Yeah, I can't one-shot you. So the casters just do their cast animation and a dark spell comes out. It was really useful to teach bishops dark magic, because it got over the main issue bishops had of light magic having really low might. Instead, you swap them out for dark magic that has the highest might in the game, and suddenly, probably don't. Oh, okay, these guys don't move. You do. So suddenly your bishops are dealing effective damage with 15 might tomes and annihilating everything. But you could also teach dark magic to physical units, and it kind of screwed up some of them. Sword users were actually okay because they have the magic swords animation, the light brand and the rune sword. We have a light brand over here, and I ran into a rune sword earlier. I don't remember if I actually picked it up. I think I did. Manage to get it to drop. I just don't have anyone who can use it at the moment. But they have an animation for attacking at range with those weapons, so when you taught a physical sword user, if you taught a sword user dark magic, they would actually use that animation at range by default, because you're doing this in a game that actually has no hacking in it, just a little bit of a glitch abuse. So the game kind of tries to solve this issue of how do I animate this by itself using whatever assets it's got. So it used the ranged sword animation when you try to use dark magic. Unfortunately, that bit of creativity on the game's part also kind of breaks it. So sword users that have learned dark magic don't have normal animations for anything ever again. They use just the ranged casting animation. They can double. It gets a little weird. The enemy or the target's HP never actually visually goes down until after combat, but it's for the most part functional. Okay, so we've got enemies coming in on every tile this coming turn, or next turn, I should say. You can continue bopping these guys. But if you taught dark magic to any other physical class and you had animations on, it would freeze the game when you tried to go into combat. Got lots of fires, everything's on fire. Reaver weapons next turn. Just gotta keep track of them. And make sure I'm not sitting on, let's see, Axe Reaver. Okay, that's bad. I'm not gonna outrun him because he's on a horse. So I should probably rescue. So dark magic for casters is okay. Dark magic on anyone else, not so okay. If you like animations. If you're alright with not playing animations on, like a lot of speedrunners tend to turn animations off just to increase their speed, because they do take up some time, then you won't really notice a difference, because it doesn't have to worry about what animation to play. I can actually take pot shots at this guy. Can I? I can kill him. Have to deal with a longbow, but that should be it. 13, yeah, you'll do 3 damage. But I do want to get him some heals soon. This way I don't have to deal with a teleporting pirate with a sword reaver. I think that was the slot that ended up down here anyway. I guess these do kind of correspond, like this is top on the right, and this is the top one on the right, and this is the bottom one on the right, and this is the bottom gold tile on the right, and so on. That does, I guess that's technically consistent. I really want to give this experience to someone else. That works. Use Samson to loosen him up, finish him off with Arv. I like her. She's interesting. She'll be on my team. It'd be good to have another caster anyway. Hope this game has Sacred Stone's speed weapon levels, which it looks like it does. That's good. I like quick weapon level ups, as they means you can get to the fun weapons faster. Alright. Actually, I wasn't paying attention last turn, but I wonder if Eclipse actually hit Anti-Arch last turn. Because he's at about exactly half health. Yeah. Right, seal speed. Eclipse at least is pretty, as I said, it's not really that threatening. Yeah, it does have a long animation, but pretty much all of Dark Magic has really long animations. So yeah, this Axe Reaver Cavalier's over here to kind of mess up my day. You've only got an Iron Blade. I don't want to spend too many resources on the rear, though. That's why we'll go ahead and use a silver bow to secure this kill, so that I can start moving my troops all the way over to this side. Oh, I can give Anti-Arch the pillar. Ah. Well, I do have Arv there too. However, now I have two longbows here. So anyone who kind of comes in here has to deal with both of them. That'll work, but how much damage do you take? 7? That's not awful. I may want to do this just to remove a longbow user. Samson can reach 2, right? Yeah. Use Samson here, just because he's the only other one who can reach. Oh, I wanted to move Arv up there, but that might not be such a great idea. Let me run numbers. Take 7 damage from you. So that's down to 22. You would also be able to reach, and you would be able to reach, so 6, so that's 11 damage, and 2 more, so that's 13 damage, 13, 11, 13, 11, and 7, that is more than 30, so yeah, she would not survive that. Darn. In contrast, Arch can now bait the archer, at least, the other archer, and he is sturdy as a rock. 18, get Bob some much needed experience. It'll be a nice case of the spur defense as well here. Speed? Yeah. Speed's literally the only thing I need from you. Though HP and res are both welcome as well. Makes you less susceptible to bolting. Because that's a problem in Binding Blade. It's a problem for your thieves, it's a problem for your lord as well. Nine defense, Prin's actually pretty sturdy as well. She can take a hit from a longbow and kind of shrug it off. Yeah. Okay. Tim's all that's left here, so I think don't really need to do anything with him right now. Especially since he doesn't have a ranged axe. Switched over to targeting Arv. Yes, I have started the game with 2 fighters. One's named Tim, one's named Tam. Tim ended up being the growth character, having lower bases and better growths, and Tam was the kind of... Oh, interesting. I think that was the certain hit, maybe? The Jagan-like character with higher bases but lower growths. Okay, Jay, time to go to work. Alright. What? Oh, okay, that was weird. What just happened? Five damage. So that was Sure Shot activating. because he doesn't have any other proc skills. So that should have done 1.5 times damage. Instead, it did less damage than printed. So that seems like a bug. I'll mess up this Axe Reaver. Jay's like, no, don't bench me. See, I can do this. And then just shrugs off an arrow. Shrugs off an arrow that was supposed to do more damage, and then it actually did less. Okay. Getting a little crowded in there. I want to try to make sure to reduce numbers. You are not fast enough to kill this one. But you are. And you do enough damage. And you'll do double duty, baiting the Knight and the Myrmidon next turn, or on enemy phase. Is this okay? That is not okay. I just gotta make sure she moves next before I end the turn. I want you to get the kill, so I want to soften you up with Samson again. Oh, this is actually... Wasn't thinking about it when I did it, but this works out well, because Arv has that Malefic Aura and Spur Defense. So tanky, anti-arch is more tanky and deals more damage too. Where did I get Seal Skilled from? Skill Sealed from? So that's something with a pirate, maybe? I think the pirate might have Skill Seal. Okay, so just don't be there. It might be interesting to put you there. On the off chance that the archer tries to target you, we'll put a target over here too. Archers like to kind of target Bryn, and they might like to target Void because she has low defense and no luck. But if the archer comes over here, we'll be curious to see if it disrupts that reinforcement. What turn is it? It is turn 10, so Lucky Sevens is expired, unfortunately. And it's still a good unit, though. Lance Reaver, 11 crit. Fortunately, I actually have enough luck to negate that with Anna. And I definitely want to do so, because I do not want Arv to take the hit from that Myrmidon. And Bob can just stay close. If Anti-Arch keeps this up, I can foresee him being the MVP of this run, of this entire playthrough. Seal speed is just really good, especially on a character that's well equipped to bait out enemy units. Yeah. Main thing I'm hoping for from her level ups is HP, strength and defense. Flux user. Unnecessary adept, maybe? I'm not, well, Jays should be pretty fast. Not Arch, as far as I can tell, is a reference to another a hacker by the name of Arch, but they maybe didn't have permission to actually use them, so it's not Arch. It's totally not Arch. Anyway, need to get him healing. Hey, look, an archer that needs healing. Yes, I have gotten Aether activations, a few of them. She actually got one on this map when she was throwing that short spear, if I recall. Let's see. Anna on any kind of defensive terrain is pretty magical. 76 avoid. We'll go here. I didn't really want to give this Myrmidon the pillar tile when attacking her, but I also want to have this Myrmidon attack Anna instead of anti-Arch, because Anna's a better chance of killing on retaliation, whereas Arch is not quite fast enough. Though, let's see, 8 con, -2, 11. Yeah, not this turn, but next turn. I'm gonna let that Axe Reaver Cavalier come to me, instead of leaving units behind to deal with reinforcements. I can just they're not threatening enough that I feel I need to have an answer for them before they get to me. Or not necessarily before they get to me, but by the time they get to me, I will be able to deal with them without having to leave behind units, so I can still keep as a group. Well, I don't have a guaranteed kill on this guy. Do I YOLO with a Luna? Hope for a crit? Probably shouldn't do that with the longbow archer behind him. This will still damage him up for later. Got a a bunch of droppable stuff, but I don't have to worry about steals again until you. I'll slowly work my way up into there. Good. Ooh, you actually got hit. Yeah, my Anna's hit on the other ones might be a little shaky. 58, yeah. Well, a lot happened that round. High attack dark mages are pretty much the only thing that are going to be real threatening to anti-arch. So I may want to swap him off the front once these two physical units are dealt with, because they just have a bunch of stream of shamans kind of coming in. Actually, interesting. So enemy shamans don't have light magic proficiency. Just mine. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay. Oh, interesting. The pirate didn't warp tile away. I do not want to be don't want to be continuing to rely on this silver boat too much, because I'm going to burn through it all in this chapter if I do. Six speed -3. Fortunately, Arv is just really slow. Can I reach with you? I can. 6 resistance is actually pretty reasonable. But you don't have any attack. Maybe a better weapon? Would a steel sword make a difference? So steel sword is 8 might, so +3. +3 would make a difference, actually. I can get a kill. This way I can use anti-arch to lob some attacks at this Myrmidon. At the very worst, it will seal speed him and make him easier to hit for Anna. And in this case, we actually landed the attack, so that's good. More defense, more luck. Good. Excellent. He actually does have decent growth and luck. Oof, almost. Yeah. Put Shaman against Shaman. But I already know mine will be the Shaman Queen. Yes, get speed. Need more speed. Have a need for speed. Yeah, just to reduce numbers. Yep, we sure need that guaranteed hit when I had 100 hit already. This is kind of why I feel like that skill is redundant on archers. Adept. Another unnecessary skill activation. But better me than them. Let's see, Anna. I'll switch, take my steel sword back so that Bob sticks with the iron sword for defense. Keeps his avoid high. Oh, I got advantage there. Fortunately, duelist's blow. Well, these guys have duelist blow too. That's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why the Anna's hit rate was so shaky on the enemy phase. It's like, so it seems like none of those inner guys moved last turn, because this Myrmidon still has the seal speed from when I attacked with Arch, with not Arch last turn. And he's still there. Yeah, they're kind of piling up in there. It's like the gold tiles have a limited number of uses. Let's see. Anna's real good right now. Her strength got up high enough that she's doing good damage. I want to keep peppering the enemies inside the box so that my range units need to advance further. Arv needs healing too. Well, that'll do. Just some chip damage here. Gives her some weapon experience, gives her some a little bit of normal experience too. Does it get you into kill range? It does. Bob is getting promoted to a rogue as soon as he's able. Good, more speed. I don't have anyone who can reach you. Did get a longbow earlier that I need to give to someone, I suppose. He actually dropped that Sword Reaver. They haven't been dropping all of the Sword Reavers and I just didn't notice, right? Don't think so. That shaman's gonna advance on me whether I'm in range of him or not. Actually, I'm just hoping that the... Yeah, okay. Hoping that the ballista wasn't in range to hit my thief. Instead, he got a lucky shot on Anna. They got monks now, huh? Man, it'd be great if the reinforcements slowed down, you know. It's been 14 turns. At this rate, I'm just gonna have to turtle them once I actually get up there. Hey, nice. A rank. Let's see. Should I do that? Alright, so I want to continue giving Bob Bob experience just to make sure he doesn't fall behind. Is it these things that have? These things don't have seal skill. But you have a seal skill as of 2 turns ago. Oh, it's the ballista. No, it's not the ballista. Is it the pirates? Yeah, pirates have seal skill. I'm not sure where Bob ran into a pirate 2 turns ago. I guess, maybe. Anyway. Whoa, crits. Nice. I'm okay with this. She will bait the shaman next turn. I can just leave them up there. Bonds will heal them both a bit passively. Though I do still need to do a little inventory management on the fly. I need to grab that longbow. Oh, I did get another killer bow too. So that I can bring it down to my archers so they can make a little bit more of a dent in this pile. I'm a little concerned for Jay's safety at the moment. Alright, okay. So these enemies reinforcement spawns are still coming in with random drops too. Well, not random so much as drops, like this Iron Blade. Which means all of these turns of stuff have still been premeditated? Premediated? It's been a long time since I've had to actually pronounce that word. But, let's see. 14, 14. So, 8 and 8. He'll survive. Assuming that you can't reach, and you can't reach, and you can't reach. So okay, Jay should be fine. All the seal skills on him, unfortunately, are making his res go into the negative, which I haven't checked since that monk was the first mage to attack him and was the one that applied the res seal. I don't think that actually is negative. I think it just floors at 0. Alright, good to end turn. I somehow didn't notice that those gold tiles also count as... Do they count as... No, they shouldn't. What was that healing? Ow, that was a sure shot that was actually working like it should. And also putting him in danger of dying again. Great. Lovely. I am unfortunately not resetting at this point. I'm just gonna have to roll with that. I got RNG'd. That's all that was. Man, I like archers too. So, I guess that was camaraderie that healed that pirate last turn. Now they're teleporting again, randomly. Rip J again. This is technically the second time I've lost him. This is getting real busy. Okay, I think I can get away with that. Right, vantage. He was gonna take a hit. He was at risk of taking a hit anyway, so the order doesn't really matter much. I was prepared to take that hit. So you have an Axe Reaver, you have a Lance Reaver. So I want my sword up here. You broke that ballista, but you've got the other one still. I can continue. Can I continue? I have to take the archer on. 8, 7, 6 defense against 13, 7 damage. Yeah, she can survive even a sure shot proc. I was kind of hoping I could kill with that though. Less desirable now that I can't get a kill. I can leave her there. Just gotta make sure I don't leave her with Luna equipped though. Again, she can survive hit from you. Let's see, I want to put Prin here. I also kind of want to heal with her, though. If I put her here, that she can offer a voice of peace to help defend Void if Soldier decides to attack Void, which he probably will. So Void has lower defense than Anna. So, was it 22 minus 5 is 17, minus 4 is 13, then minus 2 is 11. Nah, there's not too much point. If she again, it's another case of if he crits, she's dead. If he doesn't crit, she survives. Doesn't matter whether she's at her max or minimum HP. Or she's not minimum HP, but if she's not capped or not, so it won't make a difference. And Voice of Peace also won't make much of a difference there. Anyway, back to harassing these guys. You can kill, but can you also kill? You can. Didn't I give him a fire spell? Not that he would have enough power without the Hellfire anyway, but... Apparently I did not. Good thing I had not given that longbow to Jay yet. Instead, Samson can get it. And then one-shot this Myrmidon. And we continue advancing here. Actually, that blocks Void, makes Void safe, so it's alright. And Arv's the only one left, so she can wait. Let her spur defense continue serving, helping out there. Okay, another 3% crit with only a 40% chance. Again, glad it was me and not him, because he had a non-zero crit rate too. At this point, the enemies teleported down to the bottom are playing the catch-up game, and I can actually don't have to worry about them right away. One damage. And the reinforcements keep coming. It's starting to feel like a summoner battle in Kiederen. And it continues to do work though. Female archer sprite. I think she has a female map sprite, or armor female map sprite as well. Can do a little more damage here. The hit rate's not dramatically different. res, 11 damage, 2 crits. Tim also has, remembering that Tim also has unusually high resistance for a physical unit, despite having a low growth in it. You continue to feed Bob. Maybe he'll activate Despoil, get a red gem. Not that I really need money right now. I actually need to encounter more shops to actually use it at. Oh, hey. Just heal up Tam, then continue throwing my projectiles over the walls. I'll try to avoid using the Hellfire if I don't have to, just to conserve its uses. Zero damage. That shaman's coming over to kind of mess with my archers. With my archer and my not arch. You can crit for 0 damage. Critical is just a multiplier off the displayed damage in the GBA games here. So if you do 0 damage, even if you crit, you're still doing 0 damage, because 0 times 3 is 0. Alright. Gotta keep moving the tail end of my party a bit as well. Or I can get Arch one of those fire spells and let him go ham. Just need to get there first. Let's see. I was like gonna say, as long as I kill this guy and these 2 mages, I only have to deal with 1 attack next turn, but that's not true. Also, new enemies. Poison Bow, still Sword Reaver, an actual droppable Axe Reaver that time. HP is what I was hoping for. think I may actually promote her now. Oof, silver bow. Just barely can't one-hit kill him. Alright. Shamans are a little deceptive because they always do 2 more damage than they say they do. Though that's not to be confused with that glitch I saw earlier, because the extra 2 damage should not display here in the attack. Otherwise it should always be there. So 9, 7, 16, yeah. So 16... seal res means that's gonna hurt even more. I only have 6 resistance here. So that's 10 damage. Gonna take 4. Because I can't kill him in one shot without a crit that I'm not sure I can, that I don't feel confident I can rely on. I'm actually gonna pull Tim out. I already committed Samson to that move, so I'll heal him up and let him handle the turn. I think he thought he had 11 con. Yeah, so he doesn't get slowed down by the longbow, fortunately. Oh, I wish I'd kind of swapped him out of it just so he doesn't overuse it. And I wanted to bring anti-arch up to get a fire spell, but I need him thinning numbers down here. You are actually kind of nasty. Does seal... I don't remember if this game's seal skills function even after death. They shouldn't. Mostly because they don't in Fates. In which case, Void would take 10, 12 damage from you, and 13, so that's 17. So that is what you see what you get. 17 damage, 12, 12, and 12 is 24. Yeah. 24/4 is 28. So assuming no one randomly crits, which I think I'm going to start using a save state because I have to use Void here, and Void doesn't have any luck and never will. So save state just in the event that she gets randomly critted from a low percentage, which is a legitimate concern, which shouldn't be. I don't consider that good game design here. I don't agree with that decision, but something I have to deal with. Meanwhile, Anti-Arch getting lots of his own crits because his own focus skill is actually kicking in. Okay. Yeah, that hurts. So, okay. The seal skill even works if the enemy dies, which makes it more harassing, more broken than in Fates even. It's a technicality that definitely benefits the enemy a lot more so than it helps me. Alright. Again, at the very least, corner the archer next turn, though. Oh, right, that's the poison bow archer. They're just swarming over here. So you're still an axe reaver, but you're a stealable item. Randomly appearing. I'm not sure I need that because I despoiled one earlier and I'm not hurting for money, so it might not be worth the effort to keep him alive. Okay, sure. Meant to switch to L-Fire to one shot, but that works too. Those aren't great stats for level 16, but he's still really serviceable. I find it funny that his defense and res have grown as much as his other stats despite being significantly lower than everything else. That's RNG for you though. Okay, I gotta do something about you. And I gotta do something about you. Can I longbow you? Not enough. So this is the point where I kind of forced to turtle here, because there's no safe way to break into this mess. I can longbow the shaman. That'll kill. I still want to get Void out of there because the ballista can still crit her. Yeah, I think longbowing the shaman's a good idea. Thanks for the suggestion, because that gets rid of the primary magic user in this bunch. In a safe way as well. And I can bring Tim back in to spearhead the charge with his nice 12 physical defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so still fighting the Reaver weapons here. Let's see. I ideally want a lance, and I the only lance isn't up to the task. These have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so actually the Axe Reaver can't reach up there, can she? Can it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you can. 7. Or one well-placed explosion. Okay. I did want to promote Anna. Coming from a merchant family, I'm sure Anna loves promotion as well. Assassin's primary appeal is actually that I would say its primary appeal is that it actually can use lockpicks, which is it worth the better stats? I think this Swordmaster gets better stats, so that's why I went with Swordmaster here. There's the 15 crit. Interesting. Well, I guess since it's more of a passive than or it was supposed to be class-based, that the Swordmaster got this crit boost skill as soon as she promoted, whereas my hero didn't gain any additional skills when he promoted. So I can be here. I gotta get Arch some healing. Not Arch, but not Arch. Some healing next turn. Whether it's just a Vulnerary or actually bring Prin down. I think one of them's gonna have to take a Vulnerary and one of them can get healed. Not Prin. Void needs some health too. Axe Reaver will be useful to give to... Ow. To Void. Fortunately, I don't think anyone else can attack Anti-Arch here. That hurt a little bit more than I was expecting. Okay. This I can deal with. Looks like reinforcements finally stopped after almost 20 turns. Since... Oops. Anti-Arch wants to attack. Since he's the only one who can reach. I will use Prin here. And then Void's kind of on her own, but she's not really in danger either. Inventory space. The Troubadour by the throne has a physique staff, so she might heal him if I do this. Just as filler until I can get someone to relieve his inventory. Which, let me see. Get rid of the Sword Reaver, I can deploy a sword in there safely. namely Anna. Get wrecked. And then I can actually need to free up some space for him too. Okay, I haven't used the Iron Axe the entire chapter. Since I think I might be treading into ballista territory. Maybe not. Alright, so... go, and there we go. Mine. Oh, bonds are gonna... Void's Bond's skill is going to slightly offset the poison, but the fact that poison acts last means she'll never be fully healed. So now I can do this without worrying about anything. We'll see if the physique staff user heals. Heal Samson. Interesting. She did need more luck. Defense is always welcome, even if it's a bit odd in a healer. Fortunately, these three don't move. If I really wanted to be safe, I could pepper them with the longbow, but that'd be kind of an inefficient use of the longbow. Here we go. Don't mind taking a little bit of poison damage. Didn't even get hit. This lets Arv get the kill. Well. Was hoping for better. She already has fairly high HP, especially for a caster. The HP spread is kind of weird overall, across most of my army actually. Oh right, you move. Well, see ya. That's the one that dropped the restore staff, which I'm totally not going to use on to cure poison. And the physique staff is broken. Enemy physique. Like some of the cavaliers from earlier. I was hoping for... Well, your speed's high enough that it's not too big of a deal if you miss a few levels of speed. But good, don't have to deal with ballista anymore. Threats are just in the room. And these are the only ones that are actually moving. So the Axe Reaver, Iron Blade. Oh, I want to use a sword, which means can use an axe here and then switch to a sword. But I do want to make sure I can kill all three of these in one turn. All three of them. Because they have ranged weapons, which means they're going to harass anyone who's kind of standing nearby. I've got two of them, fine. You're not optimal, but I could longbow you and then finish you off with Arv. You don't move, you don't move. Okay, so yeah, I can clear these guys now. So start with the axe because that's got the advantage, and then use trade to switch him to. He still got hit, but at least he took less damage. I may want to top him off, maybe. 24, that's a lot of... I feel like that's higher than it should be. What gives? Do we have leadership stars we're not seeing? No. 11 and 10 should only be 21. He's getting 3 from somewhere. Oh, it's his elbow room? Okay, I guess it counts as open terrain, so he's getting elbow room. 24. That's 12, but since I'm gonna switch him to have weapon triangle advantage against a Reaver weapon, that should be another -2, so 10 damage predicted. Does he have a spur speed? Like, why am I suddenly doubling him when I wasn't before? I can't really afford to leave him alive, but Arv isn't going to be able to kill him on her own. Hey, okay. You need that, but I was not expecting you to get it. Not sure how to feel about that. Sword Reaver. Again, best met with a lance. Okay. AI machine broken. $78, 28. I'm trying to compare hit rates for the Sword Reaver against Void, because again, Void's my only Lancer user at the moment. So that's 50 on the dots minus another, I think it's 30 because Reaver weapons have double weapon triangle bonuses. So it should be down to 20. But I'm being cautious here, so I'm going to save state. Save state anything involving Void. It's sad, but it's unfortunately necessary. I do have one more thing to steal, so... Alright, don't want to bring the axe into the axe reaver range. So I can't block off the axe reaver entirely, but this looks like the best place to at least stop him from getting Samson. Tim is like Dorcas in his youth. And Tam's barter. Let's see. Finally get Arv a little bit of healing. You know, AI machine broken. Yeah, this hack has an interesting history. If you check out the blurb below the stream, it's got a bit more information. Yeah, 20. But I could just throw a spear. Yeah, okay. It still looks awkward and janky, but... yeah, I do that when I'm going too fast sometimes too. Oh. So, short spear and wind sword. Right, I forgot about dealing with you. Boss is incredibly bulky as well, thanks to the natural cover, plus thrown bonuses, plus high bases. And fast too. 16 speed. Do I have? I have a Lance Reaver here at least for Anna. Not sure who I'm saving this Troubadour kill for, but Tam can start at least. Oof, 30% hit. Well, I got nothing else to do with them. Yeah, they don't explain Constitution very well in the not what it's important for really. That's, yeah, they just say it affects rescues, but in reality, it's a lot more important for attack speed. I need another turn for positioning. Gotta dance around the boss because he hits really hard. And that shaman still has something that I want to steal. Oh, you know what, I can kill with my thief because he's still a bit behind on experience. Okay, strength that you'll probably never really use. I mean, I guess it makes him easier to train, so I'm not too begrudging, but there were more useful things for him to have gotten. Yeah, I'm not like the super trainee classes are kind of novel, but the fact that they don't gain any constitution with any of their promotions is really a pretty big deal. So Arv actually has a lance breaker, and I wasn't really paying attention to her. It's like those are okay hit rates, but the damage numbers aren't anywhere near being good enough to commit to. Let's see. Man, you double even anti-arch. It was 16 speed, right? With not enough damage to kill. Can I rescue him? It would be useful to seal his speed so that I can actually get doubles on him. And is fast enough. But it doesn't do zeros in all the wrong places. That's not the right target. That's not great either. I do have an armor slayer. Okay, so I'm gonna have to layer up some debuffs, at least a debuff, and then try to go at him with buffs as well, since Arv has defense, spur defense. Right. This may be another case where I'm going to need to actually promote someone in order to get a little more power out of them. Maybe. I already promoted 2 of the more premier ones, but Bryn might be an interesting promotion choice. Alright, that takes care of the shaman. I can kill him now. No problem. It's a 10, 24. Yeah, I definitely, actually, yeah, I want to get rid of him so that he doesn't spur defense the boss too. That'll help. Assuming this doesn't hit, I should be able to kill next turn. Because this will hit twice and then I flux twice next turn. And that should be, yeah, 7 damage twice. Of course, if she takes a counterattack hit, I'm going to have to spend time bringing my healer over because I'm going to need to put Arv in range of the boss. Maybe not. Maybe I just need her there for part of a turn, not the whole turn. So, do have a ruined sword as well. I might end up passing around the Armor Slayer. Arv's actually been really interesting. She's a shaman that also has light magic. If she keeps that when she goes to a druid, she will be better than super training Ewan, who honestly was only interesting. Her super training Ewan was only kind of interesting until you realized you can teach Sage Ewan dark magic with the enemy control glitch, and then he's basically better than the super trainee in every way. If I'm not using the enemy control glitch, I usually actually prefer making Ewan a druid. I do like the dark magic, having a dark magic user other than Noel. And I usually make Noel my summoner. Ewan generally has better stats. So yeah, I should still swing around and heal. This way he has to land both unlikely attacks instead of just one. Though if he initiates, he's going to use the wind sword instead of the short spear anyway, so that only kind of helps. And I still do 0 damage here. But spur defense definitely helps my survivability. Yep. Print is Priscilla with Clarane's color palette, as far as I can tell. How much damage are we doing with the Armor Slayer? Decent damage. Duelist Blow helps keep my keep the enemy's hit rate down. Got 13 con, so it doesn't really matter what he's using. He won't get slowed down anymore. Let's see, Rune Sword and Light Brand, neither one. It's good. Not enough damage. Alright, so here's what I'll do. 7. Yeah, that should be. And Anti-Arch's Seal Speed should put him under... should keep him underneath the double attack range for next turn. So even though I had to take two 2 attacks this time. I should be good next turn. And yeah, can double attack with Anna now with the Armor Slayer. Though hit rate's still shaky. That doesn't really accomplish anything for me. Not enough profit for the risk. So yeah, this looks like we play this game and hope I crit. Or hit enough, I suppose. So yeah, it's -6, 10 to 12. I got only 7 con though, so may want to swap out for the Thunder. The Thunder definitely lets him keep his speed. Do I have a hammer? Hammer would be nice. I'm gonna have to actually disperse my stat boosters next chapter. Adept. Yeah, you use that one-use Thunder Tome twice just because you can. Because screw the rules. That renews the seal anyway. I do want to swing him around here so that I can give him heals. And otherwise we keep swinging with Anna. This is fortunately slightly less of an RNG fest than some of the earlier bosses. That's good. That's actually within Killer Axe range. Not that Killer Axe has that much better of a chance of actually hitting though. I should probably stick with what's safe. This is the whole reason I promoted Anna anyway. Oh. Ow. Why did he suddenly change targets? Because he targeted Anti-Arch last turn. Suddenly targeted Anna this time. I mean, That might actually have been a case of that little bonus quirk that they added to this game, where killing blows on bosses always show the crit animation. So given that it was Anna and her skill and sword masterness, it's hard to tell whether that actually was a genuine crit or not, but in the end it doesn't really matter either way. Void is level 14, doing pretty well. For having the same skill and speed growth, her skill is taken off and her speed is not. Her strength is decent. But for 14 levels, I think she's only gained like one or two, I think two to three defense and one or two resistance, which I kind of feel like for 30% growth, that's really low. Yeah, garbage luck, not just garbage, is like completely non-existent. 0 base, 0 growth. I actually got a goddess icon. I should give it to her so that she doesn't have 0 luck all the time. So that she can, so that she can actually take on some things and not have a, well, it's not a perfect patch, but if I get any more, then I will definitely kind of send them her way, because having non-zero crits on almost every enemy is awful for your main lord. It's just, I don't need this anxiety. Anyway, that's the end of chapter 11. I'm done. I may try replaying it before next week to keep Jay alive, because I've done that a few times. So I'm gonna save it in other slots. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't. I feel sadistic. Great. Or I felt sadistic. I'm just gonna preview the map, but I'm not gonna talk anything about it. And I'm not gonna do any more with my units. As I said earlier, it's already after 12 year, and I was losing my voice over an hour ago. Interesting. Certainly a lot going on. Yeah, that chapter took forever, and it didn't look like it should have. There is a lot going on here. But I like the map design so far. Yeah, 20 turns of reinforcements that were not negligible and had the possibility of teleporting all over the map. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna go into any more. Leave preparations and the map analysis for next week. Coming chapter definitely looks interesting. It looks more interesting than the last chapter started out looking. There's, as I said, there's a lot going on and a lot to do, so it should keep me busy. I actually has a decent decent number of deployment slots too, which is nice. This 12 is actually the most I've had so far. But all right, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I usually stream Fridays, 9:30 p.m. EST. Today was a bit different because of schedule stuff, but hope to see everyone next week then.